Hello everyone, welcome back to our Let's Play of Total War Warhammer. As you can see, we've made a bit of progress, taking out the Orcs. Scrolling in, Ekrund is about to run out of its garrison in 2 turns. We've recently taken Carrick 8 Peaks, though we did see a setback at Iron Rock when Azag, the Slaughterer, decided to attack and take that. For the time being, though, I think I'm gonna have this army right here with Thungni, Dragon Slayer, return to Brag, the Wazbak, just to heal up for the time being. Let's see. Do you want to try and build up public order here? I'll do that. Can I afford? I can't afford more defense right now, so...
Let us settle this.
Oh yeah, and I have this small army still waiting out Crooked Fang Fort, so... Other than that, it looks like I've done about everything I can do. Still sort of waiting out the Orcs. I don't want to lose this province. Well, I still got time on this one before it starts to rebel, so... Merrick, it's all on you now.
Sounds like a lot of problems down there. Meanwhile, up here on the north, we've managed to hold out against Chaos and their savage allies. Middelheim, unfortunately, it's not in such a good situation there. They're still fighting amongst themselves between Middelheim and their neighbors, the Hawkland. Which I guess at the north is the strongest faction right now. But the faltering of Chaos has given us a chance to really, how should we say, take a breath in and settle some, internal matters. I'm reorganizing my armies. I have a single army down here who is going to be combined with a greater army that's been sitting here over here in Bastogne country. They've done nothing. Their lord is a level 1 character. It's not really worth the expense that the amount of gold that he's being suck in, so we're gonna send him. His army is gonna get reassigned, and the Lord is going to, take a few vacation days. Well, in the last episode, we took advantage of the dwarves and their famous grudges. They must have had a massive one against Weisenberg because they wiped Weisenberg out of the map, and we took advantage of that and have and finally gained control of all over Weisenberg.
Yeah, you've definitely consolidated. What?
Yes. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It's gonna take quite a bit of development until I can build up Weizenland to the level it has to be to become my siege factory. There is at least another 2 city developments that need to happen before I can build reliable siege engines from here. Um, on the other hand, my current enemies do not really need to be sieged. My current enemies remain chaos, and they're a band of horde armies, and you know they don't necessarily need a lot of sophisticated siege weapons to fight against. Uh, so for the time being, it's okay.
Be gone.
But there's always more stuff to build. There's always more places to develop. The Bretonian side of the empire, it's right now it's under control. Despite the fact that we've taken this place as when we confederated Marienburg. I always say that one wrong. Uh, there are some concerns as to public order, but with a little, you know, use of the right buildings, we can, and the right heroes here and there, we can settle these issues. In fact, speaking of heroes, let's see if we can get another one. Oh, this is the wrong type of building. Oh, there we go.
Show me the accused.
Yes, let's take this Empire Captain. And then the next turn he's going to help us keep the order in those outlying provinces.
Let me talk to the flock.
We have a few units to level up. Always a good thing.
I will marshal the men.
Our good old treasurer remains at his post.
Ready.
It may not be his true calling, but I suppose.
No, definitely not. If this campaign has proved that he, you know, he had two doors: the military command and the treasurer command, and you know he suffered pressure from his parents to become a treasurer, but his true calling has always been military command. And Balthazar moves on to claim his cloak of molten metal. One day he'll arrive there, provided that Chaos stops attacking us, and he is no longer diverted towards defending against Chaos.
Also, it almost looks like Ostermark might get rid of the vampires for us. At least their capital.
Yeah, they've definitely made a lot of progress in this campaign. And well, the problem with the vampires in our campaign, I think, is that they went to war against everyone. They've been at war against Averland. They've been at war against Turland before I confederated them, and after they came back, they started a war with them again. They've just they opened up too many fronts, and they have not been able to deliver on any of them. You know, the vampires are vampires, but there's limits. And I believe this is all I can do this turn.
Now, what are the Greenskins going to do? Alright, uh-oh. Two armies.
Oh, and it seems that Hawkland has finally claimed Midland.
Yep.
I'm not entirely sure, but I
For
think
the
that's the end
wisdom
of Midland.
the lair. Forget it. No fool that's safe in the world. All right. Go on then. What? The clan demands war.
I'm wondering if I should move and attack the orcs now or not. I have some decent forces from the garrison, though.
If you give them more turns to gather up their forces, it's going to be a more difficult battle.
That is true. I think I'm gonna do it. It slightly has the balance of power against me, but I think with the right actions, we
Right
can do this.
strategy, yeah. Are you taking attrition, or is that battle damage from before?
They'd previously taken damage. If I recall correctly, I think they faced Azag's Wog and defeated him.
From what I can see, they have a lot of missile units, which is going to be an issue since you do not have cavalry.
Yeah, they have a lot of ranged missile unit, or not ranged missile units, blah. Cavalry missile units.
Yeah, the appropriate thing to do here would be to focus on the missile units. Let the warriors swarm their melee. Remove the advantage that they have with the obvious greater number of missile units, and then turn their focus first towards the first the cavalry missile units, and then the other ones.
We have scores to settle.
They're not entirely unscathed as well.
Quarrelers! For the High King! Valea bless our aim! Quarrelers! For the ancestors! Quarrelers! They have wronged us! Miners! For the High King! The clans unite!
It remains to be seen if they will take an offensive posture, considering you're the one attacking right now. It might be that they just try to defend for the time being. Then again, you do have more reinforcements than they do.
The clans unite! Victory will be ours!
It does help, though, that they don't have any artillery, and I have both what I have starting out and then a few from my reinforcements.
Yeah, and they are definitely the ones attacking, so yeah, you might as well just sit back for the time being.
Grudge thrower!
Also, I'm going to give you a set of units to make do with what you like.
Quarrelers! For the ancestor! Vengeance! For them! vengeance! Plow through! Dwarf warriors! Keep moving! Kazoo! We are relentless! Hit them! Shoot the bodies! Quarterers! Ranging targets!
Warlords have a serious range on them.
That'll do! We demand blood!
Oh, those are Warlords' great weapons. They're not normal Warlords. Oh, okay, that explains the range.
Well, the normal quarrelers have 155.
For the Carradon Corps! Let the vengeance begin! Satisfy the grudge thrower! Kazoo! Cannon! We will have vengeance!
A single volley is all it took to kill that unit.
Quarterers! Get him! Grudge thrower! Banner down! Bust to the throng! Long be it! Cannon! Quarterers! Fire on the foe! Miners! Quarterers! Arad! Pick your targets well!
I have to say, against enemy archers, the quarrelers are pretty good.
Yes.
Because they just,
When they're in number, they just massacre everything.
yeah. Well, they also have shields too, and I don't think there's any other archer unit that has a shield.
No, I don't think there is.
For the Carradon Corps! War of vengeance! Dwarf warriors! For the High King! Accident! Rage triumph hour ready! We demand blood! Miners!
Now to see if I can take out Azog before he escapes.
Once the one good idea when faced with this many, very mobile missile unit formation is that you can use the archers cannot, if they're in skirmish mode, they're going to be running around a lot, and unless they are able to fire and move at the same time, you can actually use the melee units to keep them from firing, keep them running around, while your units fire on them.
Yeah, I mean, skirmishes could probably decent against, like, if you're going up against regular melee units, but yeah, I know cavalry, it's pretty bad to use it on. One of my groups of quarrelers killed 115.
Wonder how many the garrison killed. And so a battle that had an inferior, or rather unfavored balance of power turned out to be pretty well fought.
Yeah.
My axe thirsts for war. The axe thirsts for war.
And I didn't get a chance to see just how well the garrison units did, but still though, I think we did pretty well.
Not up then.
Still have 2 more turns before I can move and actually take Ekrund without any issues. And at least I took care of one of the grudges, because that was hurting public order and diplomacy and a couple other things. Oh, leadership.
And now the Emperor rides out to meet against approaching horde of the Skellig. He won't be able to attack them this turn, but he will stand there ready to, set out against them, give them something to think about. Because the way they are, they could either go for Gorsel or Weissman. Neither place is well defended enough. In fact, after reviewing the structures in Gorsel, I've decided to remove one of the buildings there. I'm going to remove the little shrine of Sigmar, which is unfortunately unable to be built any further because it's a small village, and instead I'm going to build that shrine on Marienburg. And in Marienburg, I'm going to remove the manager's stables, which there is no great benefit to having the stables here when I have stables in not only the stables but a Reichsfort in Reichland with a warhorse breeder stables there, which gives the horsemen that are trained there and improved, improved status. So there's no point in this and these tables here.
Also, I noticed Marienburg has a wizard's tower, so you can finally recruit your wizards and all that.
If that's what the Emperor commands.
And our leader is going to, well, at least diminish the public order issue in Lyonese, while I tend to a more permanent arrangement over there in the future.
Well, it stopped going down, so that's an improvement.
Indeed. See, the option I have here is, as far as that territory that's separated, I can, if I can divert enough forces to do it in one single turn, which would be preferable, I can take down Bretonia in a single strike and, get myself the whole Corone province over there. And then likewise do the same with the adjacent province of Bordelot. Bordelot would be a bit more difficult since they have way more power, but it's something to consider.
We march. Pick up the pace.
And so Hans Gutbub, it's an interesting name, he gains control of the larger army previously commanded by Owen Altermand. And Owen, since you're kind of not doing anything anymore, let's send you on that vacation we talked to you about. And that's another 200 gold that I don't have to spend per turn.
Nice. And he just pulled an Obi-Wan Kenobi and just disappeared.
Indeed, he's become one with the Force.
Be gone. By the comet.
Except in his case, considering that I don't think lords are actually entirely removed from the game. I think he just went to a villa somewhere to rest his feet until, if something else calls to them.
Yeah, I think you're still able to recruit him unless he gets killed.
Yeah, especially because if I look up on the offices tab, which is unique to the Empire, the ability to put characters within offices within the Empire, he is still listed as one of the lords available for an office.
Really?
They are listed. It does mention that this lord, actually, right now it says, since I removed him from the game, it says this lord has was recently replaced. They will not be available for office for 5 turns. That's because I removed him from the office which he held a while back. I don't really remember which office that was, but I removed him. And now, of course, I remove him from being a general. But if I wanted to, I could put him as any of the offices, and he would still, he would perform his duty as an office member, but he would not be an army and a leader in the army.
Do not ask me to shame our clan.
And Karenberg is facing some serious public order issues, so I think I shall move my stick in my shoulder over there. So he can, help contain the situation. While we continue to move Balthazar towards his, shall we say, destiny,
I go where the winds howl.
if it's not too pretentious.
Oh, what are you up to? Darn you, orcs. Oh, Kislev has been destroyed.
Anad,
Huh. Well, that explains why I didn't get any messages about trespassing their territory. They have no territory anymore.
Anad. By the grudge bearer's will. The clan demands war.
Alright, taking back Iron Rock.
Agreed. Summon me if you dare. Attack them! Bring them! To battle! Bring them! Bring! What?
They're gonna take Caragdron before I can get to him, but whatever.
Absolutely not.
Pick up the pace.
Let's see if this witch hunter cannot do something about that scaling army.
By the silver hammer!
Oh, that was
What?
unfortunate. Well, he did not critically fail, but he failed.
At least he didn't die or get wounded.
Summon the Elector Counts! Onwards!
Now that Gorso has a free slot, I can use it to build a guardhouse since this is frontline against chaos, and it's likely to be very attacked very often. While in Marienburg, we shall put that shrine of Sigmar that we destroyed in the other settlement. The Reichsmarschall sends out the call for a few more troops before he sets out on his voyage south.
What does the Emperor bid? Yes, my lord. Yes?
We will move one of the weaker soldier units from Talabheim. So
What?
kind of if the unit is not,
Ready!
efficient, it's kind of a waste of money.
Yeah, there's certain units that are alright for the start of the game, but after that,
Indeed. We deploy a hero to help contain the public order situation. It is my hope that that the Scalig army will not be able to immediately assault Karabur. So they will be forced to either make a siege or flee, since the Emperor's army is right next to them.
well, Karaberg doesn't have anything. So they don't have walls.
No, they don't, but they do have a second tier settlement, which gives them some garrison.
Yeah,
And if you look at the Scalig army, they're actually quite damaged.
from my end, it doesn't show what they have in their army, but it does show that they don't have too many.
Yeah, they have Felmung Ingerson, which is almost dead. They have one unit of Chaos Marauders, which is at full health. Their Chaos Chariot, the Marauder Horsemen, the Chaos Warhounds, the two units of Chaos Warhounds, and the Chaos Trolls, they're all at half health. So they're not exactly in a position to straight up engage. In fact, I'm not even sure what they're doing down here.
Just in case, can you send your art collector to Karaberg?
That I can.
Because a hero there will, even with the small garrison there, if we fight it, I think we could win it. Or well, you fight it.
And the Castellan engineer has leveled up. Good. It's a good idea to, if you're gonna make a siege, at least this is something I've tested in private. If you're gonna make a siege army per se, since they siege weapons, they consume a lot of upkeep of building up the general leading that siege to be a quartermaster, which reduces the upkeep of the all the units under that lord's army.
Interesting. I don't know if the dwarves have a equivalent or not.
I don't recall. I think it was either Empire Total War or Napoleon Total War, which had structures which you could put units inside, and if they were ranged units, they would, which most of them were at that point, since muskets and everything else, they would shoot from the outside, and it was a very, it was a really cool. The way they built the little cities, which had several of these occupiable structures. You can set up a kill zone between two structures, and then the units suddenly start firing from everywhere else. It was a very neat idea. And here I'm thinking, you're being attacked, and well, you go out to meet them on the field. You don't wait until they come to the city to make an urban battle. It's like, oh well, maybe an urban battle would actually be beneficial, considering you would be able to funnel their numbers, into strategic points and everything else.
Could definitely be interesting to add a little bit of more strategy. Alright. What are you up to, people?
The clans unite!
From my experience, I can tell those spiders are pretty nasty and pretty fast.
For the carrier's anchor! Kazuka Kazuki, the clans unite! Longbeards, menace! Warriors! I hush you, command! Vengeance! Dowie, attack!
Ooh, their leader is almost down.
Warriors! Hazoot! Kill Orcs! Anu! Longbeards! Taking aim! Warriors! Kazoo! Longbeards! Right far, right fast!
And I see how you put the long beards ahead of their shields, so they're the ones targeted by the arrows instead of the quarrelers right behind them.
Yeah, they're too slow to really do anything against the orcs because the orcs are just so fast. But at least they can soak up damage.
For the ancestor gods!
Come on,
They
Azag, just
are
die.
soaking up a lot of it.
I almost got him down. There we go.
For the High King vengeance! Kill Orcs! Into that mud! This is a reckoning!
I do wonder, and this is something that could be tested when we have mixed armies in the same battle. I do wonder if the dwarves are actually set to move slower, even at running speed, than the humans. Taking into account their height and legs and everything else. If they actually move slower, or if they move at the same pace, but have less, vigor for battle.
Well,
Or if they take more vigor damage from running than the humans do.
I'm not sure.
Because you mentioned sometimes that if the dwarves run everywhere, they tire easily. It makes sense. They have to make double the effort to run as fast as everyone else. But did the game take into account the fact that they being shorter might mean that they move slower than everyone else, or did they just give the same, running speed?
I think there's probably a hidden vigor count that goes with it.
Yes! Get moving! Get down!
All right.
Ooh, the armies of chaos return.
Yes, they do.
And the Karakern request military access, and they're at war with Karak Norn. I shall allow it, if only because they are in good relations with me, and I want that to improve. What they do with that military access is not exactly my problem, so long they don't turn it against me.
Bring! Attack!
All right. One place down.
Indeed.
Who's down? Attack! There will be blood!
Two places down.
Dwarves making gains.
Time to slay the Oathbreakers. We march to battle.
Take out this army.
notice me about this? For the wisdom of the land.
I bet that's a lot of grudges going down.
Well, I didn't really have too many grudges against those guys. I still have one grudge to take Stone Mine Tower, one to take Dot Karaz back, and then another to carry out an assassination against the Greenskins.
Summon me if you dare. Move. It is time. Safe for the world. Unarmed.
And the last thing for this turn is to continue the little mission I had to go to work bad.
Beards in belts.
And then I just gotta win a battle with Ungrim Iron Fist, the Slayer Crown.
Ready. What?
Carl continues to chase after the fleeing Scalig army. Meanwhile, let's see if we can't do anything about this Scalig Agnarsson.
Judgment is death.
Ah, the witch hunter failed. It's unfortunate.
Chase. What? I think not.
And then the next turn, Balthasar goes after his cloak of molten metal. Unfortunately, he was not able to climb the mountain in this one turn. It's a very big mountain.
By Sigma, no!
And then one more turn, the Rex Martial armies will be
Ready.
prepared.
asinine mortal! Don't think so.
Currently, my interests within the land, within the northern lands, remains to consolidate my power because chaos is coming back, and the more defenses I have ready, the better I shall fend them off. Talbheim in question is one place I would like to put walls on, but I don't have the money right now.
Ooh, yeah, they're looking a little lacking there.
Indeed.
Even your main settlement.
Indeed. Next turn I should be able to do that. Unless... Unless I put basic walls now and postpone the upgrade of Weismund. Yeah, let's do that now. Another three turns until the basic walls are built. They provide considerable garrison. Actually, they provide Empire Knights, which is a very high-end unit, and that considering they're that far north, it's gonna be it's a better idea right now. The only issue is that I have to decide where I'm gonna send Hans Gutwood. That name will never get old. I could send them towards Bretonnia and prepare to carry out my invasion plan, but let's send them towards the north to fight against the savages. Wait until I'm better prepared to take down Bretonnia.
By the comet!
And as a more permanent solution to the problems of public order, we shall demolish two buildings on the western side settlements and construct, the bars. Because what's a good settlement without a tavern? Sterling requests military access. Very well, the only enemies they have are my enemies, so I shall allow it. And since the Scalig is preparing to attack, they could not go full march this turn, which meant that by the time they get there, the city guard that I have built for the last 2 turns will be complete, and Garcelle will be better prepared to fend off an attack.
Yes.
Level 3 settlement and a guardhouse. That is an addition of 2 pistoliers, 2 swordsmen, and 2 crossbowmen. Against who, again, for the Feldman Ingerson to deal with.
Let's see. Right now I have a little rebellion I gotta squash. Very easy.
Aye, I'll move. The Slayer in me seeks death.
They're still not dead yet.
Well, they
There.
are now.
Onward to death. I must fulfill my Slayer oath. Sure. I'm not gonna die standing here.
One thing that is always good to do, and I'm not sure if you have already, is, and this is something I also tested outside, is to look over your leaders, your lords, select the ones that you want to, oh, this is a siege leader. Well, let's give him followers that benefit siege. Whether it's more followers with that give more ammunition, give more, experience, and definitely something to consider.
That is true. It definitely helps to have sort of specialized leaders.
What? Forwards. I refuse. To war. My axe thirsts for war. Beards in belts. What? Fine.
Ooh, and I just get a message. Assault unit critical failure. The hero which I've been trying to defeat has, wounded himself trying to damage the Emperor's army. Very unfortunate. For him, at least. But this is a critical movement. I can move Carl all the way towards our enemy there. But what if he just moves around us and tries to go another way via in march mode? Or we can be a bit more, let's say, humble with our
Pick up the
movements
pace!
and try to predict where he might run off to. If he feels that he has the possibility of fleeing north, the fact that we have not completely committed over here might mean that we actually get the chance to catch him on the next turn. Ooh, I did not expect that.
What happened?
The battle for Balthazar's Molten Cloak is, well, he's facing off quite considerable number of forces. I do not think that's a very wise battle to be fighting right now.
Follow me! You summoned me. Step to it!
And if he
Yes,
stays up there, he takes attrition from the snow. So I shall have to recruit him for the time being. It's unfortunate, but it seems that the battle is going to take some time, some longer time to happen. What's not going to take time, however, is the deployment of Rex Marshall Mill, Master of the Court. That's quite the title. But he's heading south now
to the provinces.
to deal with help our dwarven friends deal with the Greenskins. I do think that yes, there's a passage between the mountains that allows us to reach. Actually shall. We'll be crossing through the vampire-controlled border of Prince territory before we reach at Barak Var. It's gonna take another 3 turns to get there.
Praise Sigma.
And since we sold some of those old structures, now we have the money to upgrade them. Wisenman, as we had planned from the beginning. Along with Talabheim, finally a level 3 structure. Our warrior priest is also doing good job keeping the faith, keeping people happy.
What you ask is impossible.
Do you take me for a Wazvik?
Ooh, there's a couple big chaos armies up there.
Indeed. Hochland requests a military alliance. I think this is the time where the factions begin to ally themselves against chaos. While in the past I've neglected to accept, or rather, I've refused military alliances or any alliances of the sort, at this point chaos starts to become a problem that, we cannot just hope to contain alone. Likewise, other factions begin to send their own requests of alliance.
Why is Sterland sending no request for an alliance too?
Yes. I could instead ask them to become my confederate again and take over, take control of their provinces, of their one province. But there's a concern regarding public order and the outlying provinces, and I really cannot deal with that right now. So I shall refuse. Maybe in the following turns.
Nice! Zufbar went and took out some chaos. Uh-oh, the Doom Tide. The Chaos Horde has poured in. We are saved. Oh, yet another wave of chaos is coming. Wonderful. Alright, everyone, that is going to be the end of this episode of our Let's Play. Definitely been interesting. Dwarves have definitely made a bit of progress on taking out the
Considerable
Greenskins.
progress, I would say, considering the previous episodes. Now, it's kind of a dwarven doom tie for the Greenskins.
Yeah, they only have a few more provinces left, and then we have the Red Fangs, which we're at war with, but they really haven't done anything against us. So I might just sort of leave them be. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully you folks enjoyed the episode, and see you in the next one.